Hi guys, in this video I am going to show you how we are going to fix these scratches. As you can see, we have these scratches on the door panel, and I am going to show you how we are going to fix these scratches and also the different things I'll be using to fix this. So guys, I do have some black touch-up paint here, and I'm going to add some hardener, some activator to the paint. So guys, it's more like a 2-to-1 mixture. So you can see I have my touch-up brush that I'll be using, and also the black paint. So we are going to apply now. We already cleaned the surface. If you need to sand it, you can do so with 800 grit. That's if the surface is rough. So we just want to store up the paint, ensure everything is mixed in. Then we're going to take our time and going to apply. Okay guys, so we just applied the touch up paint, so we may have to apply another coat. It all depends, but basically we just applied. And when you applied, you want to ensure that you don't put on a lot of paint, that you only cover the area that is mostly affected. So we will be sanding this down with 2000 grit, but depending on the depth of the scratch, we may just need to apply just a little more just to cover that dent successfully. So we're going to leave this to flash, and then we're going to see if we need to apply any more. But so far, guys, we have it covered. So guys, I actually had to reapply some paint, so I did that off the camera. The reason why you need to is because if you're still seeing the scratch mark, you want to ensure that you cover that up, because if you don't cover up that, when you start sanding and start polishing, then you're gonna see the scratch all over again. So I applied some more, and as you can see here, so we are just gonna allow this to cure, and then we're going to sand. So guys, it's actually the next morning. As you can see, well, this morning is a rainy morning, and you can see where we applied the paint. You can see it. So what we are going to do, we are going to sand the area with 2000 grit with some soapy water. So guys, I've been sanding for more than half an hour now, and as you can see sand mark, you can see clear coat, the whitish mark around. But so far you're not seeing any scratch mark from this distance. You're not seeing, but if you go closer, you will start to see that we're still seeing some lines. So I had to reduce the sandpaper to 800 grit, and I was worrying about our clear coat. Not only that, I reduced it to 800 grit, then 1000, then I did 2000, and everything is leveled out, but we are still seeing the lines. And that can vary because this is actually older paint, and we applied some fresh paint to the surface. So the fresh paint in which we applied will look newer than the old paint, but we're still seeing the lines. I'm not sure if you're seeing it on the camera, but the sun is out now. But if I look at it from this angle, we're still not seeing anything much, but we were successful in covering up those lines physically, and they're hidden. But if we actually look very close, we can see some of the lines, because some of them, when we sand, they were not completely covered. We're still seeing the line from the scratch, as some of these scratch were very deep. But guys, I just want to say that this method is actually working, but it requires a lot of time and a lot of sanding. Now we do have some lines here as well. We did not sand this area, so you can compare this area to here. And also I just want to let you know that this area have not been polished, but it is very smooth. So the surface is smooth from the tip of my finger, sanding with 800 grit, then 1000, then 2000. Because we applied a lot of paint, that's why we have to sand a lot. Can't see those marks from about 3 feet away, but definitely if you come forward you can see the marks about from 1.5 feet away. You can still see the line in the paint. So I have not polished the panel as yet, so what I'm going to do, I am going to wipe off, clean off, and just give it a polish just to see if it looks any better and if we made some progress. So guys, this is the compound that I am going to use, heavy cut. Also I am going to use this battery mobile polisher as well. And we're just going to polish the area to see if we can hide those marks away. So guys, you can look at the area in which we are going to polish, and you can see where the area is white. You can also see a little mark there, like a little scratch. So there's where we are going to polish, and I'm all ready. So I'll have a bit try doing this by my one hand. So in the back of my mind, I had doubts. I know I won't be able to cover all of it up, so I had some doubts, but I actually was able to cover about 3 of the scratch completely gone. I was able to get rid of this one. I'm still seeing a little trace from it, but we got rid of most of it, and you can see the others. We're still looking at them there, but we can also sand the area and put some more paint and see how we can get this to cover up. So it's possible. But to be honest with you guys, this is time consuming. It is time consuming, and you have to sand a lot. You have to do a lot of sanding. And some of these vehicles don't have that much clear coat. Some of these vehicles have a flat finish, and if you don't have that much clear coat on it and you have to be sanding, then you're going to be in trouble. So looking at it, it definitely enhanced the door. And we're just seeing some marks. We're just seeing some marks. Also, you have to really match the color as well. That's one of the challenge with these job. You have to match the color, because the black that I put on is the color match for the van, but the older paint will have a different texture because it's older. The UV protection from the clay coat as well will start to reduce. So when you apply new paint to the surface, sometimes you get a slightly different look. And that can be a reason why as well we are still seeing the mark. Even though if it is covered with black, we're still seeing the mark because that black is brighter than the black on the door panel. So that's another thing to bear in mind. This is why most persons will just prefer to just blend the door, spray it over. But what I want to say, successfully we were able to cover the scratch in terms of the depth of the scratch. So I actually just polished the area with my 2 hands as I was holding the camera with one. And definitely if you look, you can see that you hardly see in those scratch marks. And we actually did a very good job in hiding those marks from being seen. You have to go within 1.5 feet to see the scratch marks, but we do still have some areas that wasn't completely covered. We're going to do this over, guys. We're going to apply more paint and we're going to get this completely covered that you won't be able to tell. So yeah, and these are actually deep scratches, so they're very hard to move. I am going to start by dry sanding like that, and is where we have scratch marks them. I'm going to take my time and I'm going to just do that. So I just went over it with some 800 grit just where we have the lines. So we're going to clean the area and we're going to apply some more black paint. So guys, I'm doing the mixture. I have some black and I am doing some mixture in here. I have some black and I also add some base coat blender. So this is a clear base blender additive, and this is going to help us to blend this with the old paint on the van, right? So I have the black and we have color blender. We're going to add a little bit of hardener in this paint as well. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to apply it. I've already cleaned off the surface, so hopefully we are going to see how much scratch marks we can get rid of. So guys, I was actually successful in applying more paint. So I'm gonna leave this to dry, and tomorrow we are going to sand again and polish. So guys, I'm actually here washing off to polish, and you can barely see any scratches. You can barely see anything, but we do have 2 dents that we have to take care of. We have a small dent here and we have this one. We were able to remedy the scratch marks and I am just washing off. So we are going to polish the area. I actually did here over a second time. There is still some minor scratches which you can't see, and you're still seeing one of the scratch at the top. We only did the top once, but just because we have to pull this dent out, I am going to do that one over when I pull the dent out. But definitely guys, it's looking beautiful. We cover up all the scratch marks so far, and as you can see from this distance, I can't tell that this door was scratched in that area. So definitely, if you look, I'm only seeing the dents showing up, but for the scratch marks, I'm not seeing them. So guys, I am just going to go and polish out the door. So guys, here we are. So from the before and the after, I must say that you can't see the scratch marks, and we do have two sink in the door. We have to pull those out, one here, as to why I did not completely fix this one up. We have to get this dent out first, and we also have another dent right here. We have another dent there we have to pull out, right? But definitely guys, those scratch marks, you can't see them, and these scratch marks were indeed deep ones, very deep scratches in this door panel, and it do take some time. So let me look at it this way, but you can see where the dent is in the panel. We were able to get rid of those scratch marks. You're not seeing them. Let me go closer. You're not seeing them. But also the door carry a clear coat peel, which is the factory peel. However, when we wet sanded, you can see that is a different peel here in this area. You can see my reflection. Here is more of a good finish. Over here have a peel from the factory paint. So we actually sanded and we glass out this area. As you can see, the reflection on my hand is very good. If you have minor scratches in your car paint and it's just a few, one or two, and you don't want to spread the whole thing over, then this thing can actually work. You can hit it with some touch-up paint, and then you can wet sand it, and then you can polish. Well, I had to go down to 800 grit because of the amount of paint I applied. But you have to be very careful when you sand, that you sand directly on the paint and not on your clay coat. Then you bump it up to 1,000, then I bump it up to 2,000, and then I decided to polish. So again guys, I hope that this was helpful. If you have any vital information to add in the comment section, you can do so. If you're new to my channel, you can go right ahead and subscribe.